So Arc Raiders and Marathon have given us a lot to talk about the past couple months. It's been one of my main games and I'm still hooked. But with that being said, I can't lie. I'm more excited for Marathon to come out than I've been excited for a game in a long time. Like I said, I really enjoy Arc Raiders, but I know for sure that Marathon is more my cup of tea. I'm looking forward to a smoother, more precise first-person experience. I also want to be more invested in the world building and story of my extraction shooter. So I came across this article on comicbook.com that I share the same sentiments with, and I just thought I'd share it with you guys. This is by Justin Joy over at comicbook.com. Bungie's Marathon could succeed where Arc Raiders failed. Ever since Arc Raiders was released, I've barely played any other multiplayer game. It offers a tension I've never experienced before. This is thanks to its audio design, which hums with danger, the constant threat of robots, and the uncertainty of whether a fellow raider is friendly or not. Extraction shooters thrive on moments like that. The quiet dread of commitment, the rush of escape, the sting of failure. For a while, Arc Raiders delivered that loop better than almost anyone. Its combat is sharp, its world visually striking, and moment-to-moment play has hooked an enormous audience like me. Yet there is one area in which Arc Raiders disappoints. And this area that he's talking about is story. And I agree. The story seems a bit shallow. They keep hinting at things, but it's like it doesn't go any deeper than a surface level. Everything looks so cool and they're hinting at so many different pieces of lore, but it's like it feels so shallow. Embark Studios has created such a cool world, but has hardly done anything with its narrative. What story we do get is a lackluster mission and the occasional cinematic, but neither of these does the world of Arc Raiders justice. And as much as I love the gameplay loop, I want more. More reason to invest in the world and continue playing. And this is where Bungie's Marathon can come in, because if there is one thing the studio excels at, it is creating interesting worlds. Absolutely. This is Bungie we're talking about, the guys behind Halo and Destiny. I remember when Destiny was coming out and I had a similar feeling of intrigue with the cinematic trailers. I thought they were so cool, so intriguing. I was so interested to play the game to learn more. And I remember my highlights, my peak highlights of Bungie cinematic moments are probably Halo Reach and Halo ODST. The ending of Halo Reach, are you kidding me? Last survivor of your squad of Spartans, in a endless firefight against a bunch of Covenant, and the only way to finish the level is to die. Peak, man, so good. And you're so invested in the story at that point. It's like Bungie knows how to like really crap very like real cinematic stories, stories you want to know what's happening next, stories that people expand the universe in novels. So yeah, I think they're gonna deliver story-wise. Arc Raiders and the cost of a thin story. Arc Raiders has proven to be a huge success. However, where it's dropped the ball is its story. The game gestures toward a larger conflict, but it rarely commits to telling it in a meaningful way. Missions feel like excuses for objectives rather than chapters in a larger arc. You deploy, complete a task, extract, and repeat. There is nothing inherently wrong with that loop, but over time, it begins to feel hollow. The expeditions only make this matter worse, as you are repeating the same mission you've already completed. I have to agree. Every single mission I've done in Arc Raiders feels exactly the same. There's one of two missions. You're either doing fetch quests, you go out, you get one thing, you come back and give it to the guy that gave you the quest, or you go out, you get one thing, you go to another area, you get another thing, go to another area, get another thing, and then you extract and give that stuff to the quest dealer. Or the other kind of quest, going out and killing one of the big boys, you know, a leaper, a bastion, a bombardier, you know, just go out, kill one, get the good part from it, bring it back, and you're done. Fetch quest, killing a big boy quest. That's it. Neither have ever felt fulfilling. The most they do feel, the most that they feel fulfilling is when there's a cutscene. Every now and then you get a cutscene after a quest, and it feels fulfilling. Like, oh, let me see what's happening. I am interested. I'm intrigued. What's going on? And then the cutscene plays, and it's like more. Everything is just scratching at the surface of something interesting, but it doesn't dive in. And that's how you can explain all the story in this game: scratching at something interesting, but not diving fully into it. And so you get into these cutscenes, it feels like, oh, cool, something's happening, and nothing really happens. It's just a sort of cool looking cinematic with the worst AI voices ever. I hate the generative AI voices that they're using. They hired real people so that they can train AI to use their real voice, and it sounds terrible. Just take it all out and re-record the lines traditionally, because I hate it. Sounds so bad. Everything Celeste says sounds so bad. Ugh. The problem is not the absence of lore. There are hints everywhere. Environmental details, faction names, and scattered text logos suggest a world with history. The issue is that the game does not properly utilize its story. Missions are not good because they do not evolve or surprise. So many boil down to fetch quests or simply defeating Ark. The rewards are equally repetitive, as you seldom get meaningful narrative content. That's exactly what I was just saying. Extraction shooters are already demanding experiences. They ask players to risk progress, gear, and time. Without a compelling reason beyond numbers going up, burnout is inevitable. Arc Raiders relies heavily on mechanical mastery to keep players engaged, and while that works for many, it leaves some wanting more. As much as I love the gameplay loop, I want more. More reason to invest in the world and continue playing beyond pure enjoyment. I love mechanical mastery. I like that. I don't need much more than that. I want more story, totally, and that keeps me going for sure. That's a huge plus for me. I'm easy to please, and that says a lot that Arc Raiders doesn't please me. You know, my bar isn't that high, and Arc Raiders is not reaching it. The main thing for me is the mechanical mastery. I like to get good. And so the fact that the story's not there, and in Arc Raiders, I don't like the third person mechanics. I think they're a bit clunky. I know you can master them, but even when you master them, it doesn't feel like a first person shooter. You know, I compare it to going from Marvel Rivals to Overwatch. I love Marvel. That's one of my main games right now, Marvel Rivals. I can't stop playing Marvel Rivals. But every now and then I'll go to Overwatch, and I can't deny it feels amazing. It feels buttery smooth. Those first-person mechanics are amazing. But I really love Marvel Rivals right now, and I'm sticking with Marvel Rivals. I've kind of dumped Overwatch. But I think it's a good comparison. Going from Marvel Rivals to Overwatch feels so buttery smooth. And I think that going from Arc Raiders to Marathon is going to feel that good. It's going to feel so good to go back to a smooth first person perspective where I have more control over my character. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Bungie's storytelling could redefine the extraction shooter. This is where Bungie's involvement with Marathon feels significant. Bungie has always understood that storytelling is not just cutscenes and dialogue. It is structure, pacing, and consequence that are learned through gameplay, cinematics, and environment. That's what I was talking about Halo Reach. From Halo to Destiny, Bungie has excelled at weaving story into systems. You learn about the world by playing and experiencing it firsthand. At the end of Halo Reach, you know that everything went to shit because firsthand you were there. You're the last Spartan standing and you had no chance. And experiencing that firsthand was the coolest thing for my sophomore brain in high school. If Bungie applies that philosophy to Marathon's extraction shooter format, it could create something genuinely new. Imagine missions that change based on previous extractions, objectives that reveal information about rival runners on the world itself. This is not just about lore dumps, but also motivation. If Bungie can make each run feel like a step forward in understanding the world, then failure becomes part of the story rather than a reset. Success carries narrative weight, not just mechanical reward. That approach could lead to a new type of extraction shooter, one where players log in because they want answers, not just better gear. Arc Raiders has me hooked on the gameplay. I just need Marathon to get me invested and connected with the world. Absolutely. And I gotta say, just from the couple trailers we've got, from the gameplay I've seen, I am already. It's just I don't. Everything about it resonates with me. I'm ready to make this game my entire personality. I'm just really into sci-fi. My neurodivergent brain loves bright colors. So the art style really speaks to me. I love the graphic design what were they calling it? Graphic realism. That's what they're calling the way that they have graphics like on everything, you know? It all just speaks to me. It really does. I love how it all has this dark screen over it. It has this cool cyberpunk, dark, edgy feel, and it all really resonates with me. Maps as storytelling engines in Marathon. One of the most promising aspects of Marathon is how its maps appear to function as narrative spaces. Bungie has hinted that environments will tell stories through layout, visual cues, and evolving states. This matters because maps are where extraction shooters live and die. Players spend hundreds of hours learning routes, choke points, and landmarks. If those spaces change or reveal new context, the experience stays fresh, and players not only feel more challenged, but also learn something new with each run. Marathon looks to be leaning into this more, with maps giving lore. Abandoned structures, altered terrain, and environmental storytelling can communicate history without breaking immersion. If the missions do this as well, Bungie could tell an engaging story, which is not something commonly seen in extraction shooters. A map that changes over time based on player actions could make the community feel like a participant in the narrative rather than a spectator. Yeah, I just don't see any sort of progress story-wise happening at all in Arc Raiders. The most I've seen so far, story-wise, kind of like progression outside of mechanical gameplay, I guess, is the winter event, the Cold Snap, where there was like 5 tiers where you had to collect a bunch of different materials, nature materials like mushrooms, a bunch of different materials and stuff. You slowly build up your table and your feast for the winter cold snap feast or whatever. You got to get a bunch of these candleberries and whatnot. It slowly progresses, and at the end the table's full of food. You get a little reward. That was cool. That was the most like kind of story-ish kind of progress I've seen so far. And it wasn't much. It wasn't much. Bungie has always excelled at delivering powerful narratives. The Halo series is perhaps the best example of this, exactly like I was saying. My highlights of Bungie story and cinematic storytelling are all from Halo. Destiny gave me these feelings of intrigue and wonder, but I also do have to admit, I remember playing Destiny and kind of feeling like the answers that I was getting to some of the questions I had from, like, what was that big orb in the sky? Like I never got the answers, or I was unfulfilled by them. I didn't like the way they answered them, So for me, my peak storytelling from Bungie is from Halo. So yeah, The Halo series is perhaps the best example of this, but Marathon could be its swan song. The cinematic trailer hooked me and so many others, but the game needs to do more, especially in the wake of Arc Raiders' popularity. In an extraction shooter where repetition is unavoidable, giving maps narrative progression could be transformative and be something entirely new for the genre. And that's the article, you guys. That was Justin Joy over at comicbook.com. I gotta say, I really agree with the sentiment there. I think that Arc Raiders story leaves a lot to be desired. And I think that Marathon is gonna fill that gap for people like me, where don't get me wrong, I really enjoy Arc Raiders, but that story not all being there, and then on top of the fact that I don't like the third person mechanics, and I gotta say, now I'm just being nitpicky, they gotta do something about the audio, where I got people sneaking up behind me, and I just hear absolutely nothing. You know, maybe you're crouched moving slowly, but there's got to be some sort of audio cue. People are sneaking up on me and I hear absolutely nothing. That's crazy. They got to fix that. Hopefully, Marathon has better audio than that, because that's so irritating. I have a feeling it does. I can't say that I was in the NDA or anything like that. So I can't say that it did have better audio than Arc Raiders in that way, you know. But anyway, that's all I got for today, you guys. I'm really excited for Marathon. Hopefully they deliver story-wise, because Arc Raiders, quite frankly, does not. And those third-person mechanics really irk me. I can't lie. I'm so excited for Marathon. Thanks for joining me here at FinTV123, you guys. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget that if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime. If you got Amazon Prime, you got Twitch Prime. If you got Twitch Prime, you got one free sub for an awesome streamer like me. Go give it to me over on Twitch. Thanks, I appreciate that. I'll see you guys next time here on FinTV123. I'm out.